Hello, my name is Richard Capone. I'm the CEO of Let's Go Learn. Today I'm going to show you the brand new LGL Edge series, which is a differentiated instructional product line built upon Let's Go Learn's powerful diagnostic assessments. I'm going to focus on the teacher interface. You'll notice initially we have a class of students. Now these students have previously completed some assessments, so let's go ahead and take a look at the DORA tab. We see that 6 students have completed reading assessments. Looking at the individual subtest scores, we see that these students have very diverse profiles. Next, let's click on the DOMA Pre Algebra tab. Again, we see a handful of students with varying abilities. The green dots represent mastery in major constructs of pre-algebra, yellow half circles are partial mastery, and red dots are non-mastery. Okay, clicking on the DOMA Algebra tab, we see a similar situation for these students. Note that if a teacher had to attend to all of the needs of these students, it'd be very difficult. When students learn math, typically they end up having lots of strengths and weaknesses in different areas. Now here's where the power of the LGL Edge series comes into play. As students complete a DORA test, for instance, if we look at the Reading Edge tab, we see a no, yes, or semi appear under qualified to take course. So students with developing decoding skills will have a yes, meaning the LGL Reading Edge product is a good product for them. Students with almost fully developed skills will appear with a semi, and students with fully developed decoding skills will have a no. The reason being the LGL Edge series course is focused on mainly decoding, so you don't want to give it to students who do not need it. So therefore you could use this information to help judge whether the student should take the course or not. Now if we say the student should take the course, we're going to give you a need ranking. So you can see their need. The higher the number, the greater the need. Bijan and Stephen have the highest need in this course, so we can go ahead and enroll them. So let me click the enroll button. If I click on the edit view, we now can see how the student was actually placed into these courses. Now in the case of Bijan, you see lots of checkboxes. The couples were not, because he has some fairly low scores in decoding, so he was given most of the lessons. If we go ahead and enroll a student who has a semi, Teil, let's take a look. And now we click on the edit view, and we see that the Edge did not assign a lot of these initial courses, or lessons, excuse me, but it assigned this batch right here, 29 to 37, or 28 to 37, as well as 42 to 50. Now the teacher at any point can override this. If the teacher says, well, I really think he needs to also work on some vowel blends, then I can go ahead and check that box and hit update assigned levels, and the student would get those lessons. Okay? Clicking over to the Comprehension Edge tab, this is the second reading course. This one focuses on students with stronger decoding but weaker comprehension strategies and vocabulary. So it's sort of a nice complement to the Reading Edge course. Typically for secondary students, 80% of the remedial students will qualify for Comprehension Edge and 20% would qualify for Reading Edge. Now in the case of the LGL Comprehension Edge, to qualify to take course, the threshold is students have to have at least a 5th grade or higher decoding level. If they do not, you will see a no appear. If they're on the fence, you'll see a semi, and if they have above a 5th grade reading level as far as general decoding, there'll be a yes. Let's go ahead and take a look at one of these students here, Jacob. Let's click at View Report, and we can now see exactly what Jacob has done so far. If we scroll down, we see a graph. This graph will add more and more lessons as the student completes them, and down below we see exactly what they've done. He's done lesson 1, lesson 2, and lesson 3. We see their score, the times played, and the times on task. So it's nice. We have a running total of how many minutes the student has been on the course. Okay, now let's click on the PreAlgebra Edge tab. The PreAlgebra Edge tab is based on the PreAlgebra assessment. Students who have completed a DOMA PreAlgebra assessment will show up, and you'll be able to enroll them in this course. We see the need, 24115.5, so Stephen Lopez has the greatest need. Let's go ahead and enroll Bijan and Stephen, who have the highest need. Clicking on the edit view, we'll go ahead and take a look and see how the assignments were assigned to these students. So for Bijan, we scroll down, we see, okay, he was given lessons 23 to 28, 32, 36, lessons 40 to 50, and so on and so forth. And you see exactly what these lessons are. So if the teacher at any point says, well, I would like to do some additional review, I'm going to give Bijan these additional lessons here in fractions. Or maybe the teacher may say, you know what, I covered percent conversions and percent problems in other supplemental materials, so I want to turn these off. The teacher has complete control to adjust these. As Bijan completes his lessons, the times played, minutes, and scores will show up in these columns. Now let's go ahead and click over to Algebra Edge, the last of the Edge courses. Let's take a look at Amanda Williams over here, who is already enrolled in this course. And we'll go ahead and edit view. And we see that Amanda was assigned 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, and so on and so forth. Now if we look, we see that she's done some lessons. She spent 6 minutes on lesson 1, had a 94% score. On lesson 10, she had a 68%. So notice she completed the course, or the lesson, excuse me, but it says in progress. Because this score was below 75, when Amanda logs back in, she'll repeat relations, tables, graphs. She'll repeat this lesson. Once she has 75% or higher, then she'll move on to the next ones. And so the way the Edge series works is it encourages students to get higher scores in a game-like environment, and later on they're given the opportunity to go back and get all of their scores up higher so they can achieve different levels and they get different certificates, either a bronze, silver, or gold certificate. As you can see, the interface for the teacher with the Edge series is very simple. You could have a separate tab for each product. You could enroll students, look at the need, look at our recommendations, look at their exact scores, find out exactly how many minutes they've been on the product. Now, the next step I'd like to encourage you to do is go ahead and watch the actual demos and the actual sample lessons of each of these great courses. We have the LGL Comprehension Edge, LGL Reading Edge, LGL Pre Algebra Edge, and LGL Algebra Edge. Thank you very much.